Okay, so after about 25 takes, I'm gonna try and get this right because I need to go fishing and this is just taking up all my time. So every time I try and tie this thing on video, it messes up somehow. So hopefully this time it won't. Basically, the FG knot, here we go. As I said, I'm gonna do it in my mouth this time. I know I already did that little spiel beforehand about tying it to the reel handle and whatnot, but it was testing me. It was really testing me. So I'm gonna tie it the way I tie it, and hopefully you guys can get my perspective on things. So, like I said, spool tension, all that stuff, refer to, you know, the beginning of this video. Now I'm gonna hold the rod between my legs, and I'm gonna put the braid between my molars just because that's how I hold it. And what I'm gonna do is, I'm gonna take the main line here. I'm loosening up the line just so you guys can see this. And I'm gonna lay the fluorocarbon on top of the line like that. And I'm gonna just pinch it so that they hold. It's gonna create like a cross or an X. Then what you're gonna do is, you're gonna take the fluorocarbon and you're gonna wrap towards the camera, or away from you, in my perspective. And then towards you, or away from the camera, to make one full kind of wrap. And you're gonna do that about 20 to 25 times all the way up, just repeating the same thing. And then we'll get to the next stage. So I'll tie this up real quick so you guys can see. So after your 20 or so wraps, your lines should start to look like that. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take the fluorocarbon and lay it against your mainline braid, the one that's not the tag end. You're going to take your tag end, if you have it way too long, which I do here, trim it a little bit, and then you're going to do a half hitch. So that's going to go around the fluorocarbon, around the braid, kind of like in a uni to uni knot, poke it through, so it's sitting like that, and then you're going to pull down for your first half hitch, like that. And that's going to lock in that first knot. Now what I'm going to do is, I'm going to wet it. I'm going to do a second half hitch. Make sure it's at the top, not down to half the base. Lock that in. And you're going to use socks or gloves. I have gloves in this case that I use for steelheading in the winter because I like to feel the rod more so, more or less, and I like to feel how the fish is kicking or how the reel's spinning and stuff like that. So these are pretty thin. And what I'm going to do is, and this is just a protective layer so that you don't cut your hands with the braid or the fluorocarbon. And what you're going to do is, you're going to take your knot that you have here, you're going to hold the two tag ends and your main line in one hand, and you're going to hold your fluorocarbon in the other. And this is crucial, you got to pull pretty tight, mostly from the main line. And what that's going to do is it's going to pull that finger trap kind of thing tight onto the first layer of that fluorocarbon and bite into it. And what it's going to do is it's going to create that from slipping. And if you've done it wrong, you're going to notice, and if you've done it wrong and not tight, you're going to notice the fluorocarbon is going to slip out between that knot. In this case, it has not, so I've done it well. Sometimes I like to do a second or third tie, but essentially what I'm going to do here is I'm going to, or second or third half hitch, I should say, sorry. And I'm going to trim there and there, and that's your knot. You can obviously trim closer on the tag end or whatnot, but that is clean. And what that allows it to do is slide through your guides very, very smoothly, sometimes without even hearing it. And you're going to get even 1 or 2 yards casting difference. I found it was probably closer to 7 or 8 yards difference from the uni to uni to this knot. And that was just because of the friction on the guides. And obviously it had a lot to do with if I was using micro guides or not. But I found it was pretty close, like 5 to 8 yards. And I found the distance was better. I was breaking less guides. And overall, it's just a great strong knot. I haven't had any problems personally. I think I've broken one lure off on it because it came undone, but that's obviously because I tied it wrong. If you tie it properly, how I showed you here, you should not have any problems with this knot. And the more you practice, the more, like the quicker you're gonna get at it. It takes me now probably about closer to a minute and a half to get this knot completely done, filled, and back into fishing. And overall, it's a great one for drop shotting as well, because you can drop shot and it'll stay perfectly in your guides without rubbing anything. You know what? Thank you guys for watching. Have a great day. Hope you learned something. If you have any questions, leave them in the comment box below. And yeah, I'll catch you guys later. Thank you. Have a good one.